Hi there, welcome to inbound inspection number 4. I'm Ryan. Today we're looking at landscaping contractors in Framingham, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston. There's about 27,000 households in Framingham, but it's close to a lot of other suburbs, so you can easily reach a lot of people in the area. It's a fairly large market when you connect everything, maybe 40-50 minutes. So the first thing I do is I go to Google Ads, and this is available if you have a free account, but you get more details if you have a paid account. I go to Tools, I go to Planning, I go to Keyword Planner, just to get a general idea of how people are searching in the area, what keywords you're using for. So I would type in like lawn service, landscaping, I can't spell, contractor. Probably just do that just to get started here. So and I want to just focus on a specific area, so I'm just going to type in Framingham, Massachusetts. This is around 200,000 people in the area. You can see there's a lot of other areas you can service as well, but just to give you an idea. Then I click results, see what's going on. It's going to broaden your search. Wants you to advertise for more keywords. People type in landscaping company, service, lawn care company, blah, blah, blah. So lawn service is only getting like 10 searches a month in Framingham on average. Lawn care near me is getting around 20. Lawn care services is getting 30. So you can just see these are keywords that you want to cover in your content on your website, in your videos, etc. You can see there's a lot of different variations. And if you run Google Ads, you would want to take a chunk of these words and make sure your ad's showing up. It even shows here on the right kind of what you have to bid to make sure you're in the top of the search results. So lawn care near me is saying if you want to have an ad that's all the way at the top of the search, it's about $56, which is pretty high because that's not a lead, that's just a click. So if you click and it's $56, you want to make sure that your landing page is phenomenal and that they turn into a lead. Otherwise, it could get pricey very quickly. Now, if that person hires you for the next 10 years, it will be absolutely worth it. So keep that in mind. So we do this just to get a general idea of how people are searching, how much traffic's going on, how much competition, what the ads are, that kind of thing. And then I move to Google, kind of see what's coming up. I type in lawn mowing Framingham because lawn mowing is a very, very common term. So these are all sponsored results. These are the ads we were talking about in the previous thing. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 different ads, including Thumbtack, which is got pay-per-lead service, which you're probably familiar with. We scroll down, we see these 3 people in the maps as well as other ones. I think that what is causing them to rank in this area is this has lawn in the name. Possibly this is located in Framingham. So those are things to consider, your location of your Google business listing in comparative to the keyword, your reviews, and how your thing is. It's interesting, this is landscaper and this is lawn care service, but if we click on it, they got a lot of, this is what I always encourage you, fill out this as much as possible. Look how many services they offer. Installations, maintenance, landscaping, retaining walls, tree landscaping. This is going to help you show up in searches because there's a good chance that you do all these services. So we scroll down, see what else here. We got the brothers, we got a discussion. Okay, so we have a general idea. Let's move on. Landscaping Framingham. There's no ads on this search for some reason, but there is an ad right here in the maps, which is useful. We'll notice that the top 3 organic results all have landscaping in the name, which is important. This one also has a Framingham address, which as we've seen is important. Let's take a look at, here's these guys again. It's the second time I think that they were number 1 in the search. Let's click on them. Full service family landscaping company, focused on outdoor living. Okay, pretty clean. Immediately put all of the service areas, very good. And they even say if you're not listed, still give us a call. That's great. Okay, this is a little bit generic, but all right, it works. Hardscape, that's good. Learn more about hardscape. Let's see what that is. Got a whole page on hardscaping. That's good. Some photos. I think they could probably add a little bit more information here about what hardscaping is. Maybe break this out into bullet points so it's easier to read. But it seems like it's natural stones and walkways and whatnot. Let's see what else. Lawn care is on their page. Irrigation, fine gardening, landscape lighting. Yeah, very specific stuff. Got a portfolio. Oh wow, this is great. Some good stuff to steal. So yeah, it has the town in there too, Medway Poolside Haven. They could even put poolside, the type of service they did. They did pavers or hardscaping or flooring or whatever. They could expand on this. I think it might show up for more searches. So let's move on to a more specific service, lawn aeration. I can't talk. And so this is a more specific service. You have these people showing up, which we kind of saw before. Mow and Grow. I love that name. Mow and Grow. But number one organically is actually a website here of a local company that has a specific page on aeration. So let's click on them. So I think this is important to have as a company. There's a lot of text, but there's some things that could be improved on design-wise. But I mean, they have a very specific page. I mean, the page is called lawn aeration, and the title is it. Very important. So have a specific page for a specific subservice like this. Have it in the page title, have it in the URL, and it'll help you show up. So that's a good takeaway there. Let's move on. I just like these guys, Varsity Lawn. I kind of like this little thing, these little services here with a free estimate button, and you click on it, and it actually tells you more detail. They're in Natick, which is next door to Framingham, basically. You scroll down. Look at that. It even has options: black, brown, red. Let's click on one. Oh, you can see it more close in detail. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of a cool thing to add. I think it adds more detail. Why you should have mulch, which is a common question. So some good stuff to take away there. So now I'm going to move on to another platform. This is Claude. So I just typed in lawn mowing Framingham, MA. It searched the web. It says here's a rundown of the lawn mowing options in Framingham. On-demand app-based services, which is interesting. Yeah, it's interesting that it led with the app-based services. So Lawn Guru starts at $44 a cut. It's even pulling pricing from, I guess, their website. Lawn Starter, 387 reviews, featured in this. Yeah, these don't seem like local companies. They just seem like apps that sub it out, maybe, or they sell the leads. Lawn Love, free personalized quote. Plows and Mows. This one's might be more local. I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay, and then it scrolls down local companies. Mow and Grow, there it is. They're Framingham based, probably helping with their ranking. We got another one in Gatsby. It even gave me a tip here. Framingham lawns typically need weekly mowing. Okay, that came from Lawn Starter. So, I mean, this is a good way to break into the conversation, these type of searches as they become more common. I mean, you have to remember Google has AI whole search situation that's building more and more, and they have Gemini. But you see that they have this content on their website from lawnstarter.com that shows up here as a tip in Claude. So I think having good information on your site, educating people, not only helps your potential clients, but helps the search engines find you as trustworthy and show you. I'm trying to think what the word is. So I asked Claude, how did you choose these 7 companies? Great question. I pulled these results from Google search results. Okay, so just went straight from Google. Didn't do anything else. It gave me 3 app and 3 local. And there was one more it gave, so I don't know why it says 3 when this is clearly 4. So it doesn't know how to count, apparently. 3 app, 3 local. I didn't apply any particular criteria, but it could dig deeper, filtering by highest rated, most reviews, best price. Okay. So that's good. So it kind of goes to, it just pulled it from Google. Mow and Grow. So yeah, but my results, lawn mowing. Let's see what my results were. Here's an ad. There's 3 ads. Yeah, interesting. So it looks like our results are different than what it was showing here for these companies. Like I didn't get these 2 companies. So it's interesting how they sorted those. To dive deeper into that at another time. So we moved to Instagram. I typed in Framingham. Actually, I put hashtag Framingham Landscape. I didn't finish typing, so I wanted to see what come up. You have Framingham Landscape, Framingham Landscaping, fewer than 100 posts. So not a ton of posts about it, but maybe a good opportunity for someone that's searching for local landscaping to do that. If you see fewer than 10, I don't know, it could be an opportunity. You never know. They don't reveal a lot of search data on Instagram. It seems kind of guarded, especially when it comes to local services. But I mean, even if it's 10 or 20 a month, I mean, it could be potential clients, potential leads. So let's look at another one. I typed in landscaping contractor Framingham. Now I clicked on most of these guys, and they are not in Framingham, but they have landscaping contractor on their profile. So I think that will be the takeaway here. So he has landscaping contractor. Notice it doesn't have the service area where they are. It does say NC, which I think is North Carolina. So, yeah, it's missing that. But you see they have these hashtags, landscaping, drainage, masonry. I think it's important to have this stuff, but really it's important to have like what the business actually is and what it does. Here's another example, landscaping contractors, CRG. Yeah, the phone number, it's like a Phoenix phone number, AZ, yeah, but still, like, I would probably put like what areas you service, that kind of thing. Here's another one, New Orleans and surrounding areas. That's a little bit better. Landscaping contractor in the name. You know, let's click on a random video. There's nothing on here. There's no caption. Yeah, these aren't great. Get a price for your yard. Who doesn't love that? Okay. Gardener. All right, so they need some help with the captions. But summing it up, let's look at kind of our takeaways here. Service keywords in the business name helps in Google Maps rankings. The example was landscaping Framingham. The top 3 organic listings had landscaping in the business name. So having a keyword like landscaping in the name is going to help you show up organically in Google Maps. That's the takeaway that I'm seeing right now, as of this day. It could change tomorrow, who knows. And then the next thing would be a website page dedicated to a specific service can lead to a #1 organic ranking. Lawn aeration Framingham, the top result was this page, which we looked at. It was just a page built around lawn aeration. Very good. So have it in the name, have a specific website page. It's pulling from all this stuff. You'll see that it's not pulling from, like when we looked at Claude, it's not pulling from Instagram or social media or whatever. It said straight up we're pulling from Google first. So it's just following a lot of the parameters of SEO in a way. Other takeaways, companies are quoting virtually from aerial views. That's something that I learned. I didn't know that a lot of landscapers would do that. It seems kind of obvious now. Now, I don't know how dated the aerial views are. They're using Google Maps. They have other sophisticated programs. There's drones flying over. What if the video is really old, like a year old, or a picture is a year old, and landscape has changed, maybe pricing changed, I don't know. But that's kind of interesting. Something to consider. Or you could go against that and be like, listen, we don't do it virtually. We come out in person. We have a personal touch and everything. Just like the opposite position. One is very easy, but the price could change because you're doing it virtually. You're not totally sure. And the flip side of the positioning would be, hey, our company's different. We don't do anything virtually. We come in person for everything. We feel the grass with our hands. That's how serious we are. So just an idea. The other takeaway on Instagram, I would definitely add landscaping contractor or landscaping company, something like that, to the actual company profile so it's clear what the business is. And then please add the service area locations to your profile. Like we had Framingham contractors, landscaping contractors, and nobody in Framingham showed up on Instagram. That seems like a huge opportunity and potentially, maybe a small opportunity now, but a huge opportunity in the future if more people are searching there for a landscaping contractor. Landscaping is very visual. People like to see trees, bushes, shrubberies, grass. People watch time-lapse stuff of things getting, edged and all neat and pretty. So I think it could be a good platform, but you have to make sure that local people can find you and they know that you service their local area. So make sure you're putting that in there. Your Instagram business page should just be like another landing page for your company, similar to like your website, about us, what we do, who we serve, where we serve. So it's very clear. The next thing with IG was use hashtags like Framingham Landscaping to help show up in searches. There wasn't a lot of people doing that, so that's another opportunity. Make sure you're found locally. So that's the 6 takeaways I got so far. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, take care.